Hi everyone and welcome to episode 33 of the Cherry Heart podcast. I'm Sandra and I'm coming to you from my little crafty house at the end of the garden in Bedfordshire in the UK. It's a nice warm sunny day again here today, so I've gone with the door open, so I hope the background noise won't disturb you too much. Hopefully it'll be nice birds, but there may be other interruptions, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you are trying out this podcast for the first time, thank you for coming and giving it a whirl. It's where I share my adventures in yarn, really. Crochet, knitting, sometimes sewing, a few other crafty bits and bobs. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. You can find the show notes for this podcast on my blog at cherryheart.co.uk. It's just a little podcast, link in the top menu bar, so just click on that for the show notes. And you can find me on Instagram as Sandra Cherry HRT, and all my other social media links are on the blog as well, so that's easy to find there. Let's get into it, shall we? Yes. I'm going to start with socks, which is quite usual, really, isn't it? I normally start with things I've finished, and then I moved on to things that I am working on. But generally, there's always socks, so I may as well just have a sock section at the start and be done with it. The grocery girls call it sock talk. Sock talk. How do they say it? They say it funny, don't they? Sock talk. Anyway, moving on. So my sock talk is about these. I showed these to you last time, didn't I? Was that with Sam? Yes, I think it was with Sam, wasn't it? When I last showed you these. So I finished them now. These are... Well, let's just have a little eyeful of them first. These are my frosted watermelon socks, because they use the, I think it's called frosted sugar, isn't it? Pattern. I can't remember. I'll pop it in the show notes. That's the best thing, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's frosted sugar pattern anyway. But it's a lovely little simple pattern. Nice and mindless. So yeah, I did my usual 2x2 ribbon, 72 stitches on my ribbon, then I go down to 64 for the pattern. Normal little heel flap and gusset, which would be the same as in my first socks pattern. And then I normally decrease down a little for the foot, so I normally go down to 60, so 64 here. 60 here, just to make it a bit tighter around the foot, which I like. And then I did the little sort of rounded cinched in toe, which I like, because it's nice and easy, and you can just cinch the stitches at the top, don't need to do Kitchener or anything. I like the shape of it. I've got quite a, I haven't got long toes, so that sort of short toe fits me quite well. Oh, the only thing I did different on this sock, really, to talk about, is where I've done the slip stitch on the heel, I've actually carried it on and did it under the heel flap. I don't know if you can tell. I think you can tell just there. I was thinking about trying this because where you have the slip stitches, it makes the sock stronger, because the yarn carrying along the back of the fabric creates extra thickness to the fabric. Creates extra thickness to the fabric, so it makes it more durable. Because most people wear this, where it rubs against the shoe or whatever you're wearing, it rubs there, and that's where the socks wear the most. But I tend to find that mine wear out right underneath most. Now, I don't know if that's because I generally wear them around the house, so I'm not necessarily in shoes, so it's just I don't know. But I've been toying with the idea of doing a slip stitch along the sort of bottom bit as well, where I get the most wear. And then I think it was Danny from Little Bobbins said that she'd done it on a pair of hers. So I thought, well, if it's good enough for Danny, then it's good enough for me, so I can do it too. So yeah, so I just literally did it on the heel flap, but I'm not sure that's quite enough. To sort of, I might need it sort of to go down a bit here. But anyway, I tried it there just to see. So that was the only thing. I think I did these on 2.25 needles, which I don't know what that is in American terms, I'm afraid. Sorry. Yeah, and the yarn is one that I picked up when I was in America a couple of years ago, and it's the what is it? The Fibre Sprout, I think it's called. But it's the watermelon colourway, which is why I've called them my frosted watermelon socks. Yeah, so quite happy with those. They're a little bit, they're not my sort of preferred thing, sort of the variegated, because it does tend to pool and clump up, but I don't know. I like them to be the same, and they're not quite the same. Like there's a big thick stripe there and two little thins there. I know it's picky, but the feet came out a bit different as well. But it's all good. I don't mind. They were fun to do. It was really nice yarn to use. It was lovely to knit with. And I like to see how it came out. They don't come up very well in pictures, these things, actually. Oops. They sort of look better in the flesh than... I haven't been able to take a good picture of them. Anyway, there it is. So the socks that I am currently working on are... It's Danny again. I completely stole this idea from Danny. She just made a pair of Hufflepuff socks using these colours. I think she had a self-striping skein of yellow and grey, and so she just added the heel colour. But I didn't have such a thing, so I'm striping myself. So I've got quite far. I've only got to put the toe in now on this one. I've got my little golden bee on there, which is from Catherine at Afternoon Treats. And there's my heel. So I didn't do, quite often if I'm doing stripy socks, I do a fish lips kiss heel, but I've just gone off it a bit lately because I just prefer the fit I can get with the heel flap and gusset. Well, not so much the fit, because the fish lips kiss heel does fit me nicely, but it does really stretch out this area of the sock, which doesn't really matter in stripes because it's not distorting anything. But if you've got sort of any other pattern, especially lace, it really distorts it, sort of where it's pulling over this section. So I've just started to do heel flap and gusset for most things again, so I did it for this as well. I do think a fish lips kiss heel does look the best though, actually, in stripy socks, but that's okay. That is okay. It's not nicely blocked or anything yet, obviously, because I'm still working on it, but you get the general idea. And I've also I've experimented with my slip stitching, and I've taken it, so the heel flap ends at the pink, but I've taken it down into this yellow stripe as well, just so it goes right under the sort of heel bit a bit more. I don't know if it'll make much difference, but I thought I'd give it a whirl. And then, so to compensate, because I deliberately used this slip stitch pattern where it's alternate slip stitches rather than this one where the slip stitches line up, so that it pulled the fabric in slightly less, because slip stitches will pull it in, because I knew I wanted to have it underneath. So I thought if I do it alternately it won't pull it in quite so much, but because it does pull it in a bit, I just did a couple of extra rounds. I did an extra round before I started to decrease, and then I did another extra round between decreases on the gusset, just to make the gusset you know, a bit longer, so it stayed wider for a little bit longer, just to give me a bit of compensation for the slip stitches pulling the fabric in. Does that make sense? I hope so. Yeah, just a little experiment really, but that's fun. This is really, really enjoyable project, just what I needed. I've sort of had a bit of what's the word, I've lost a bit of mojo. I lost a little creative mojo lately, and I don't know, so I've been sort of searching for projects that just make me happy, and yeah, this is definitely one of them. I think it's come back now actually. I'm feeling a lot more, I don't know, like I've got my mojo back. So lots of nice, simple, happy projects seem to be working their magic, and now I'm feeling more excited about things again, which is good. So I, because I'm self-striping, I couldn't be bothered to sort of cut them and change them every time, so I've just carried the yarn up, which is a bit lazy, but whatevs. And then I've done the, whatchamacallit, jogless jog on the stripes. So it's got a heck of a fold in it, so you can really see where it is anyway, but what's that look like? If I hadn't have carried the yarn up, it probably, you wouldn't really see it at all, but that's not bad, is it? That's not bad for not having the little step in the stripes. So yeah, that's the jogless jog technique, if you're interested in looking that up. There was a pattern where I first came across it. It was, I think it's called Stripy Arms. I'll put it in show notes. It's for some wrist warmers, and that's where I first learnt the jogless jog technique, and she's got a little tutorial in there to explain it, and it's a lovely little pattern as well. So yeah, I'll link to that in show notes in case you're interested. So that's my sock talk. So what else have I done? This is what I've done. Yeah, I think this was sort of in production when last we spoke. So here it is. I finished it. It's my equivalent of a little twirl. Yes, my little Rik Rak top, which I'm calling because I just think it's V stitches, but I think these make it look like, looks like Rik Rak, I think. Yeah, what can I tell you about this? Another happy project. This was when I was in my not quite feeling it phase. This was the one that was sort of, I wanted to work on because it was happy project. And you know, lovely colours and just lovely repetitive V-stitch. Yeah, it was enjoyable. So it's quite simple in design. There's no shaping, I just sort of did it straight up and then split for the sleeves, and then I sort of did some jiggery pokery for the neck. So the back's different, the back comes up higher, which I like, and I just wanted sort of quite a subtle, rounded, you know, not, what do they call it? Not like a slash neck, but I didn't want a big scoop or anything. So yeah, that's it. And it's just one of those ones that worked out. It just worked out. I kind of, you know, was, what's the word? I don't know, I was just kind of sort of guesstimating how it should go, holding it up, trying things out. And yeah, it just kind of worked. I decided, instead of having the stripes all the way up, to have this sort of different, slightly different texture at the top. I just thought it needed it, and that sort of seemed to work out quite well. And yeah, the arms fit well, and it's just, I don't know why I'm waving my arms around, I'm just trying to show you the fit, I think. But yeah, it works out just amazingly well. They sort of, more luck than judgment really, but got to take it, haven't you? When the good luck falls your way, just take it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. But because it's quite simple in construction, I think I am going to attempt to write a pattern for it with different sizes and a proper garment pattern, because I've sort of been skirting around the idea of doing this for a while, and I had my cardigan, which I do want to do it for, but I'm a little bit afraid, to be honest. Yeah, but because this one's a little bit more simple, this might be sort of a good one to get me started, and once I've got the sort of idea of it a bit more, it's all the sizes that scare me. Yeah. Ooh. But anyway, I've started. I've got my sizes worked out and I've started writing it up. So yeah, hopefully this will be the next little sort of, you know, perhaps it'll be my next, I don't know if it'll be my next pattern, that's why I'm pausing. Hopefully I will be able to get a pattern out for it, is what I am trying to say. So watch this space basically. I've just sort of merged into pips there, patterns in progress, because this is in progress. But whatever. We don't have to keep rigidly to sections, do we? Let's not be bound by that. Let's be free. Yeah, anyway, where was I after that? Yeah, so that's what I've done. So let me show you something else I'm doing. So inspired by this little top actually, which is made incidentally in the Stylecraft Classique Cotton. Now they've had a DK version out for quite a while, but they've brought out, earlier this year, they brought out the 4-ply version, which is this. So there's sort of a range of colours, and white and cream, and it's just perfect for this. It's just, I'm really enjoying using it. I loved it for this. It just works up nicely, it's not remotely splitty. It's got the drape on it. See, I think this is what really makes it actually, this project, is because the drape, it sort of hangs so nicely. It's not heavy, but it, you know, I planned this with quite a bit of, it's got quite a bit of positive ease on it. But because of the stitches and the yarn, it sort of falls, and it kind of falls into a nice shape, even though I've done it straight. It kind of does the work for you. It's great. It was good choice me. Again, it was luck because it was there and I liked it and I thought I'd try it, but it worked out well, so that was really good. So yeah, I'm really loving that at the minute. That's kind of my, you know, my latest yarn crush, I suppose. So inspired by that, I wanted to do something else in the Classique Cotton. So I've started another little shawl thing, another one of those long ones. Again, just completely simple. And so I've got this. What was I was wearing something and I thought, oh, I wanted a white, I had a vision of a white little thin shawl thing with coloured bits hanging off of it that was going to go really well with something I was wearing the other day, which I can't even remember what it was now, but let's hope it comes back to me because I'm making this to go with it, whatever it was. Oh, I know, it was a white blousey thing, quite sort of flowy and nice. Yeah, so anyway, I've made that shawl bit and I've made these. Oh gosh, I'm trying to show you and I can't see. There we are. Lots of little hearts. I did a little, you might have seen them on Instagram. So somehow these and these have got to come together. And that's where I'm at the moment. Not quite sure how that's happening. Oops, sorry. I've been holding the stitch marker on. Look, that I got from the lovely, lovely jewels of So Sweet Violet. How perfect for this project. Yeah, so these I've got to get attached to this somehow. Again, it's a bit of a watch this space. I don't know quite how that's going to happen. I've sort of got an idea, but nothing's, I think I might just have to have a bit of a play and a see, because I can't settle on an idea that I'm completely happy with, so I think I'll have to have a play and see how things look and then take it from there. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I've also got my boho stars on the go, which I showed last time before. I've showed it before, I don't know when. Yes, which is a project that has been rescued by a lovely viewer, Jane. Thank you, Jane. Who had, I was running out basically. I had 4 skeins of Debbie Bliss Andes. I'll pop a picture in so you know what I'm talking about. And what am I saying? Yeah, I had 4 skeins of Debbie Bliss Andes, and I was sort of, I hadn't completely run out, but from the amount I'd done, I could see I wasn't going to have enough to sort of do anything much with it or make a scarf, so I was going to change it all. But then Jane came to my rescue and said, actually, as luck would have it, I've got some of those colours in stash. So we're doing a little swap. So yay, yay, thank you, Jane. You've saved my project. So that's still on the go as well. And just quickly about patterns, I'm going to be doing this one, but also I released my Moonlit Shawl. It's out now. Yay! I'll just get it to show you. I think I showed you before actually, but just a little recap for you. So just a crescent shape shawl, which I'm really happy with, and this yarn is by the lovely Sam that Betsy makes. It's her Dirty Denim colourway in Little Smile, which is just, you can see, look at the drape of that. Ah, lovely, so nice. Yeah, so that is out. It has been out for a couple of weeks. You might have seen on the blog that I released it, and yeah, had a bit of a major disaster in that I released, somehow, I don't know what happened, but some sort of file mix up, and I released the version with the wrong numbers in, and oh, it was horrible. It's the sort of thing I'm always petrified that I will release a pattern and my biggest fear is that I've just made some horrendous mistake and, you know, I cause everyone all this work that they'll have to redo and they'll have to frog it all and it'll all be my fault, and oh my god. It's just my worst nightmare, and every time I release a pattern I'm scared because that's what I think is going to happen. And it hasn't happened up until now. And it happened, and yeah, it was rather horrible. Well, it wasn't, because I sort of, you know, I changed it and updated it, and twice I had to update it because then I spotted some of the charts were all wrong as well, and oh, well, just the numbers on the charts. Luckily the chart was right, but yeah, everyone was really lovely about it and understanding and very kind, and yes, thank you so much, because I've been so scared that this would happen the whole time. And I guess part of the reason for being scared is because I know, not only do I know it would be all my fault if you had to do all this work and refrog it, and oh my god, but also, you know, that people are going to be really cross about it, which would be understandable. Yeah, but everyone was just lovely. Everyone sort of left me a load of messages sort of saying, you know, these things happen, and yes, so just thank you so much for being awesome and wonderful and lovely, kind people. So yes, thank you for that. Thank you for making my nightmare not quite so horrific in reality. It's fixed. And yes, the pattern is fixed. Version 3 is up there. It's all okay now, as far as I know. That should be it. So I know people have made and finished. So hopefully that means everything's okay now. It's always a good sign if someone can complete the project successfully, I think. So people have been kind enough to sort of tag me in and show me that it's going okay or that they've finished. Yeah, so thank you for that too. Oh, lovely people, so grateful. What do I do now? Let's think. Oh, goodies I would talk about. Oh no, there was one other pattern thing I was going to talk about, and that's my crochet along in Crochet Now, which isn't actually on there, that you can't see, so let's just show you quickly if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Vintage Sweethearts. There's a little close-up bit. I don't think they've got the whole blanket in this one. But yeah, that's that crochet along, and that's in the Crochet Now magazine. We're a few parts in now, so it has been running for a little while, but I do know that you can order the back issues. So if you do still want to join in, if you've seen it and you're interested in joining in, I know you can still catch up. Yeah, so if you wanted to do that, it is still possible. I think most of the introduction information is actually on the Crochet Now website. They've got a section on, I think they've just called it 2017 crochet along, because I think they run one each sort of year. So that's got the sort of basic information, and then you'd only need to get a couple of copies to catch up, and then you'd be right up there with it. So if you did want to join in with that, I thought I would mention that. And thank you to everyone that's tagged me on Instagram or shared pictures of their squares and how they're getting on. It's yeah, it's really lovely to see people completing their little sections and putting things together, and they seem to be enjoying it, which is fantastic news. So yeah, that's good. And then the only other thing I normally talk about is incoming goodies, which I don't think I've got anything much to show. I think I've been quite... That's the dog, in case you can hear some grumbling, groaning. The dog has just come in, haven't you, Bert? Hello. And curled up in his bed and sort of settled with groany noises. So that's him. What was I saying? Oh yeah, how good I've been and not buying any yarn and being exceptionally well behaved. I should bring up my little book and show you how I'm doing on my stash in and out, because I'm doing quite well. I've used slightly more stash than I've brought in this entire year so far, so that's good, isn't it? The only thing I have done is Tracy from Nora George released her advent calendars the other day, and yeah, I did get one of those, so that's a little bit of a naughty purchase. But last year so many people had ones and I was so sad because I'd missed out and I hadn't got one, and I promised I would get myself one this year, so I have. And I've found out about another exciting one to come as well, so I kind of wish I was getting that as well, but I don't think I can get two. That would be excessive, wouldn't it? Kind of want to though, and they would be different as well. Anyway, moving on. Right, I think that's probably it from me. I've been collecting some little clips, so I might have a little video montage at the end. Might just bung that in, and then if you're interested you can stay tuned to watch that, and if you're not, you can just, you know, go about your business happily. Yes, I think that's probably what I shall do. So that will be it from me. I think I've got time for one more podcast before the school holidays, because they are marching towards us rapidly, and then I don't suppose I will get a podcast recorded in the summer holidays, because I just doubt I will, really, and also, you know, we'll be away part of the time and blah blah. So yes, but anyway, I think I'll be able to get another one in before I go, so I will see you then. Okay, have a lovely week. Hope you find some time for some lovely relaxing crafting, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.